What's up, guys? My name is Saget, and today we're playing our Week 10 match for Season 8 of the Springfield Battle League. Well, we're here at the last week of the regular season. 5 teams have clinched a playoff spot, and 7 teams are guaranteed for the Cup, meaning there are 8 teams still in contention for the last 5 playoff spots. After we extended our win streak to 3 last week, we are sitting in 9th place. Our playoff odds are looking pretty good. Before I get into all of the possibilities, I'd like to explain the play-in game. In SBL, if there's a tie for 10th place, the tied players face off to determine who gets the last spot. This only includes players who are 10th or lower on the standings. So you can clinch a playoff spot based on differential if you are 8th or 9th in the standings, but not 10th. With that said, I've done my best to wrap my head around all the possibilities, so let's take a look. If we win this week, we make the playoffs. This is because of the separation between ourselves and the other 5 and 4 teams in terms of differentials. As long as we win, we can't move down in the standings. We can only go up. If we lose, there are 3 other matches we have to watch. In the case that we lose 2-1, the first match to watch is Shrug versus AJ. If Shrug takes a game at all, he will stay ahead of us. If Dustin wins his match with Matty Ice, he will pass us up on the standings. And lastly, if Praspian beats Joel, he will also pass us up on the standings. 2 of those things have to happen to force us down to 10th on the standings, which would put us in the play-in game. If all 3 of those things happen, we will drop out of the playoffs entirely, as there will be at least 10 teams at 6 and 4. In the case that we lose 2-0, Dustin versus Matty Ice becomes a particularly interesting set to watch. If Dustin wins, he will pass us up. Additionally, if Matty wins 2-0 against Dustin, he will pass us instead. In the specific scenario that Matty wins the set 2-1, we are able to stay ahead of both of them. Additionally, if Praspian beats Joel, he passes us. So if one of these 3 things happen, we will be forced to participate in the play-in, and just like in the last scenario, if all of the other teams at 5 and 4 win, we will just miss the playoffs. Overall, I think we're in a pretty good spot. Even if we lose, the odds that we, at the very least, get to play for one more chance at making the playoffs are pretty good. However, I'd like to just ignore the headache altogether and win this week. Alright, now that that's out of the way, we can look at the leaderboards. Tyranitar and Azumarill have some company at the top, with Heatran jumping to 3rd on the KO's list and 2nd on the KD list. Still, we have no Pokemon on either leaderboard. Dragapult sits at 16th and 18th on the leaderboards respectively, and Shenpao is at 19th and 29th. So it's looking like we're going to finish the season without any Pokemon on the leaderboards, which is fine. I mean, it's always nice to have Pokemon on the leaderboards. I think I had 2 Pokemon on the KD leaderboard last season, so I got a little bit spoiled, but I'll be happy just to finish the season in the playoffs. Our opponent this week is the Shellshock Stakes Squad, coached by Shellshock. Shellshock changed up his whole team a few weeks back after a rough start to the season, but since then he's looked very strong, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him end up winning the Cup this season. Historically, we're very evenly matched. We've played twice, and both sets went to Game 3, with the Season 5 matchup going my way, and last season's matchup going his way. Let's take a look at that revamped team. First up is Volcarona. Volcarona is a terrifying setup sweeper, and it can serve as a fairly good support Pokemon as well. There's also the option that he just goes with a normal, balanced offensive build, but in the 2 weeks that he's used Volcarona, he has done Quiver Dance setup both times. Next is Mousehold, which is a great support partner for Volcarona and also fairly threatening in its own right with Population Bomb. He tends to try to have it both ways, doing both supportive things and hitting hard with Population Bomb, which is actually good for us because I feel like it lets us try to abuse both aspects. If he were to lean all the way into offense, it would be really, really threatening, and if he were to lean all the way into support, it would make Volcarona very scary, but since he's trying to do both, I think we can kind of pick our spots a little bit more. Third is perhaps the most threatening Pokemon on this team, which is shocking considering some of the other Pokemon here, but it is actually Meowstic. Meowstic has been incredibly useful this season. It just gets to abuse Fake Out and Prankster support moves so well, and it's surprisingly bulky. I've just seen so many teams get torn apart by Thunderwave spam, setting up screens, and of course Fake Out's just really nice to have on any Pokemon, but especially a bulky Pokemon like that. Next we have Meowscarada. Meowscarada is the Pokemon on this team that is the most threatening immediately. You know, Volcarona needs some time to get set up, and there are some other offensive Pokemon here that can either set up or get some decent burst damage, but to me, Meowscarada is the one that is off-rip the most dangerous. It's very fast at 123 base speed and hits quite hard. Its attack stat is pretty high, but it really gets help from just having really strong stabs, as well as Protean to turn any coverage move into a stab move. I think both Triple Axle or Play Rough could be great here, but I also kind of suspect that we might see Skill Swap. He's brought that move a couple times, and there's a particular ability that he could try to grab that would make Meowscarada incredibly threatening. Wigglytuff is up next, and I could actually see it being quite threatening into my team. I think it's got a great matchup. Of course, I typically only run Ghost and Dragon moves on Dragapult, so Wigglytuff is immune to both of those types. And it matches up not great into Chien-Pao, but Fairy is always a good type to have, and it'll take neutral damage from both Ice and Fighting, and it will resist Dark. So I won't say I expect to see it come, but if it does, I won't be shocked in the slightest. Mienshao I also think would be a pretty good bring into my team. It has a very high attack stat and is fairly quick. It gets some good moves into my team. Of course, stab fighting moves are going to be great into Chien-Pao, and it gets knockoff for Dragapult. Additionally, it's another fake out user, so gonna have to play around that. And it's in a speed tier where I could certainly see it going Scarf, and I wouldn't be able to do much. Likewise, Chandelure is pretty mid-speed and would be able to outspeed all of my Pokemon with a Scarf. I could also see it running Trick Room to try to curb that speed problem altogether. Much like the last two Pokemon, I think it matches up really well into my team. Fire is of course great for Chien-Pao, Ghost being good into Dragapult, and it just hits very hard and is surprisingly bulky. Next we have Lapras, which I expect to see coming. It's very good into Inteleon, and actually pretty threatening into Dragapult and Chien-Pao as well. And in the past we've seen it run Terra Ground, which would cover Muck. So defensively and offensively, this just has a rather good matchup in my team. Of course, it's slow, and its stats are kind of whatever, but certainly it could be a problem. That, unlike Golurk, which I do not see being a problem, it's just too slow, not really bulky enough to deal with Dragapult. I guess maybe if Chandelure runs Trick Room, you might see a Golurk, but honestly, do you want to run two slow ghost types into a team with Chien-Pao and Dragapult? I'm thinking probably not. And last is Oricorio, which could be brought. I think it's a funny kind of option to put next to Volcarona. It does get some pretty good support moves, mostly Tailwind, and has a pretty solid type. But ultimately, I don't think having Dancer is enough to make this better into my team than some of the other Pokemon we've talked about, mainly the first 8. Wow, they're all pretty good. So yeah, this team's really solid, not a lot of obvious weaknesses, definitely multiple ways it can go. I expect this week to be a challenge for sure, but let's look at the team I put together to beat this. So this week on Chien-Pao, we're running a Terra Fire set with the Life Orb. We've got Ice Spinner, Throat Chop, Sacred Sword, and Protect. As far as spread, I've gone 1 point faster than a max speed Meowscarada, maxed out my attack, and put the rest into HP. I went back and forth on my last move slot. I ended up on Sacred Sword, but there was a time where I had Psychic Fangs, there was a time where I had Sucker Punch. It was really tough to decide what I wanted, but I think I decided that Ice Spinner and Throat Chop are good enough to cover pretty much anything I need to, and then Sacred Sword is there to one-shot Mousehold. Now that's not guaranteed at all, but I just wanted to have something super effective to threaten it. Even if it won't one-shot, maybe it forces a Terra. I'm really curious to see what Mousehold's Terra is. I feel like Fairy is a good option because the follow me games with Normal and Fairy against Dragapult are really nice, but I think Ghost might be an option. If not, Ice Spinner is pretty safe into it, but we'll see. I've gone with Terra Fire mostly for Volcarona. Usually it's only been running a Fire move and a Grass move. Both of those are resisted by Fire, and if it decides to run Bug, I think that's also resisted by Fire. And then Life Orb, I just decided we're probably better off with that than, say, Focus Sash. I don't need the Clear Amulet this week. Really, I think we're going to try not to Terra if we don't have to. The Dark is nice to have in front of Meowstic. So maybe I can work on taking Meowstic out in the early game and then being able to use my Terra in the late game against Volcarona. With Dragapult, I've gone Power Herb, Terra Electric, and Infiltrator. This is my first time using an ability other than Clear Body, and I'll talk about that in a moment. As far as moves, we've gone Dragon Darts, Phantom Force, Psychic Fangs, and Protect. Luckily, Max Adamant Dragapult is exactly 1 point faster than Chen Pao, so I was able to go with Adamant Max Attack, Max Speed, and my last point into Special Defense. So the reason I went Infiltrator is because this team doesn't have any Intimidate, and I honestly think that Meowstic bringing Charm would be just a bad idea because I have Clear Body almost every week, and my other main physical attacker is a Dark type, which is immune to Prankster. So I've gambled and said, you're probably going to run Screens instead, which Infiltrator is able to ignore. Likewise, I've gone an unusual Terra. I went with Electric because it's only weak to Ground, which this team does not have much of. The only Ground-type Pokemon is Golurk, and I don't really see any other Ground-type coverage coming. Also, Electric is immune to Thunder Wave, which would be a big issue from Meowstic. I thought about going maybe Dark or Fire. Those are really good Terras into this team because they counter Meowstic and Volcarona respectively. But with Dark being weak to Fairy and Bug, I didn't want to choose that. And with Fire not being immune to Thunder Wave, I decided to settle with Terra Electric. Next we've got Inteleon, which is running the Covert Cloak and Terra Dark. And also like Dragapult, I am running Torrent for the first time, I think. Pretty sure I've run Sniper every other week. I've gone with Snipe Shot, Dark Pulse, Icy Wind, and Protect. I've gone with enough speed to outspeed Adamant, Meowscarada, as well as Mousehold and Mienshao at any speed. Maxed out my special attack and put the rest in HP. I knew I wasn't going to be able to guarantee that I outspeed Meowscarada, so I just saved as many points as I could for bulk and decided that if Meowscarada's Adamant, I will take that, but if it's Jolly, I'm just going to give up on trying to outspeed that. As far as moves, it makes sense to bring Snipe Shot over Scald because of Follow Me. Dark Pulse is nice to have into Meowstic and also just pairs nicely with the Terra type. And of course, Icy Wind is mostly for speed control, but also will hit Grass type. The main Grass type I am concerned about being Terra Volcarona. So as far as Torrent goes, this is actually what I was talking about earlier with Meowscarada. It's run Skill Swap in a match or two previously, and I just did not want to risk giving that Pokemon Sniper because it gets Flower Trick, which is guaranteed crits, and that would just be impossible to deal with. So I decided to run Torrent. I didn't think I was getting much benefit out of Sniper this week anyway. Shout out to Pokeaim MD. I really think that the universe was trying to tell me about this because randomly he uploaded a video and it ended up on my feed talking about some special format of singles where you can run Sniper Meowscarada, and like I can't explain that other than the universe trying to tell me not to run Sniper this week. Moving on to the Terra type, Dark is a natural counter to Meowstic. Blocks all of those Prankster priority moves, and with the Covert Cloak I can pretty much invalidate Meowstic altogether, especially if it's running Psychic over Alluring Voice. Next we've got Muck running Agua Berry with the Gluttony ability, Terra Fire, Knockoff, Poison Jab, Rock Tomb, and Haze. I've gone with max HP, a little bit of defense, and the rest in attack. I was running some calcs, and honestly Muck's just really good here, especially with the lack of ground types. I feel like most things, barring stat buffs and Population Bomb, are a 3-shot, which is really huge. Of course, Haze is going to be big if Volcarona gets set up. Rock Tomb, also a nice coverage move into Volcarona. And then the two really good stabs in Knockoff and Poison Jab. Just like Chen Pao, we're naturally a Dark type, so we want to try to not Terra if we're in front of Meowstic. But if Meowstic's gone and we feel threatened by Volcarona, we can use that Terra Fire to resist all of its moves. Also, I haven't mentioned this so far, but for both Chen Pao and Muck, the Fire is also there for if Chandelure runs Will-O-Wisp, or just fast, powerful heat waves or flamethrowers, we want to be able to resist those and not get burned. Next, we've got Lucario, who we haven't seen in a while. I'm running the Choice Scarf with Terra Rock, Close Combat, Meteor Mash, Rock Slide, and Extreme Speed. So I know for sure that I did enough speed to outspeed Scarf Chandelure, but I'm thinking I might have also done enough for like modest +1 Volcarona, because I know I bumped it up a little bit like a day or two after I built the rest of this team. So I'm thinking that's probably what it is. I maxed out my attack and put my last few remaining points into defense. As far as the moveset here, I feel like Close Combat and Meteor Mash are a given. Just strong stabs. Meteor Mash, if I position myself correctly, can really snowball here. Of course, there's a 10% miss chance, but we won't miss. Similarly, Rock Slide has a nice miss chance, but it's just really good into Volcarona, especially if we Terra. And since we're going to be outspeeding most things, we might be able to get some flinches. And then Extreme Speed is there if, for whatever reason, we're not fast enough to outspeed something. Maybe we'll see like a +2 Volcarona, or a Scarf Meowscarada, or Trick Room goes up, something along those lines. It gives us an option to go first. For the Terra type, I went with Rock. Obviously, it's going to power up our Rock Slides, but also resist Fire type moves. And Inner Focus is great here because it allows us to ignore Fake Outs from Meowstic. And for our last Pokemon, I've gone with Toedscruel, with the Rocky Helmet and Terra Dark. For moves, I've gone with Lunge, Rage Powder, Taunt, and Spore. I've gone with a standard max bulk set. Lunge is here mostly to hit Meowscarada really hard. It also is decent into Meowstic and any of the other physical attackers. It's not going to be doing a ton of damage to anything except for Meowscarada, but it might be able to like 2-hit Meowstic, and it's going to be lowering the attack of any of the other physical attackers. The Rage Powder and Rocky Helmet combo is for Mousehold, and if Meowscarada has Protean and it tries to use Triple Axle, I can do that. Likewise, Taunt is mostly for Meowstic and Mousehold, and Spore is just a really good move that I will probably always bring on this Pokemon. Terra Dark is to be able to Terra out of my Ice weakness while maintaining my immunity to Meowstic's Prankster moves. So yeah, I feel really good about this squad. Hopefully we can pull away with a win and we will be in playoffs. But even if we lose, there's still hope for us, probably. I'm not going to guarantee anything just because there is the slim chance that all of the other 5 and 4 teams win. But looking at who they're up against, I wouldn't bet on it really. Nothing against those guys, but there are some really, really strong players that they're having to play. You know, none of them have a layup is all I'm trying to say. I could very easily see all of them losing. I could also very much see all of them winning. So only time will tell. Regardless, it's been a great season, and obviously it's not over yet. You know, we still have this battle as well as the playoffs or cup, depending on which we are in. But yeah, let's go ahead and get into the battle. All right, y'all. We're back on Showdown for this week. And big week 10. If we win, we are in. I'm curious to see what he's going to bring. I have some predictions, but here we are. Okay, let's see here. Safety Goggles, Grass, no Bug Buzz is really good. Berry, what does that do? Fake Out, Reflect, Thunder Wave, Alluring Voice. So pretty much what I expected. Wildlands, Pop Bomb, Follow Me, Crunch, and Protect. Okay. Blunder Policy. Interesting set there. Terra Fire. So there's nothing to threaten Muck at all. We've got Scarf Mienshao, which should outspeed Lucario, probably. And Meowscarada is Flower Trick, Knockoff, Taunt, Protect with Overgrow. Knockoff Taunt. What is Taunt for? Probably Toedscruel. Okay, let me check on what a Berry does. I'm pretty sure it's the Dark Berry. Ghost type, interesting. What do I want to do here? Let's see, Scarf Inner Focus, Dark, Close Combat, Knockoff, Ice Spinner, and U-Turn. I think Muck is just really insanely strong here. Really, there's nothing it's worried about at all. So I think we lead Muck. And probably Inteleon? That or Dragapult. Is there any Fairy here? You're Fairy. I'm gonna go Muck and Inteleon with... Let's go Hyper Offense. I am really worried about Mian Xiao. God, Mian Xiao's just so good. I'm gonna bring Lucario. I'm gonna bring Lucario because I kind of want to find out if Mian Xiao is speed creeping or just outright faster. Because Dragapult's speed is 194, Lucario's is 231. Alright, please pick your Pokemon. Alright. Meowstic and Mian Xiao? Mian Xiao. Okay. So, honestly, I'm just going to go ahead and knock off and protect. Oh damn, a close combat does a lot. So yeah, basically, by protecting here, I scout out what Mian Xiao's gonna do. I'm really hoping I don't get faked out. See, this is the problem with going against Meowstic, is it's all one big mini game. All one big mind game, rather. Dark. Protect. Reflect. Okay. So, good turn for us. I can pretty safely now go with... Knockoff. And Terra Electric. Let's see. Yep, Terra Electric. Oh, wait, what? Oh, I didn't click Terra! Oh my god! Oh my god. Okay. I mean, it's probably Volcarona in the back, right? Nice. Okay, so this should pick up a kill. Nice. Okay, so that's good. So I'm actually going to go for knockoff and switch here. Dude, that... Oh, if I lose this game because of that, that's so cringe. Okay, okay. This is okay. I'm panicking. I'm freaking out a little bit because of that turn. Okay. Alright. So I definitely feel pretty good about where I'm at. Is Lunge gonna kill it? Yeah, probably. Oh, the miss. That's tragic. Okay. Alright, we're looking pretty good. Oh yeah, that's probably it. Oh my god, dude. Oh wow. Okay. So what a game. I forgot to click the Terra and then we ended up getting a bunch of misses anyway. I don't think it would have mattered. I think Lucario probably cleaned that up, but dang it, man. So yeah, Muk is just so good. It's ridiculous here. I think I can bring the same 4. I'm trying to think. What Terra type is Mousehold? It's Fairy. Alright. Same lead. Okay. So the only really bad scenario would be Ice Spinner. That would suck. Shout out to Shellshock. Hi, YouTube. Okay. What to do here? I think I'm going to knock off into Mienshao. I think having that Scarf removed is going to be very big. Then again, it's definitely possible that he just fakes out Muk. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of ways that this turn could play out. Yep, fakes out the Muk. Good play. And the... Okay, good calls all around. Interesting. Very passive. If you've got Volcarona, now's the time. It's Mousehold. Okay. Now that's scary. Okay. Does anyone have safety goggles? You do. Ah, if it's Volcarona in the back, that's just so scary. Yes! I am so good at this! Ah, never mind. That was almost cracked, though. That was very close to being cracked. Oh, dude. I called it, too. Ah, I got ahead of myself. That's okay, though. We're going to go for knockoff and... Actually, let's go for Rock Tomb and Lunge. How much is Lunge gonna do? Nothing. Okay. This is actually a tough position. Let's go for Rock Tomb and switch into Lucario. Okay. Okay. This is good, I think. Yeah, let's do knockoff and close combat. Great turn. Great turn. That might have won us the game. Switch in Dragapult, close combat. Why did I not think of that? That was stupid. Okay, but at least now I can pretty easily just Rage Powder and do my thing. Oh no, you don't have Choice Scarf anymore. Right, so I have to respect the knockoff play. Nice. Okay. I think I have to. Dragon Darts and Lunge. Oh, okay. Big play. Yeah. But no, I think I win. Because, yeah, I mean, I just Dragon Darts and I Poison Jab, right? I think I Phantom Force. All right. Well, we're in playoffs. That's cool. I think that match went pretty well. I think my prep was solid. Muck was just... It had nothing that could damage it. Like, it was just there. The only thing that even would have come close is, like, Mienshao and, like, Mousehold, maybe. But those were all going to be, like, 2-3 hit KOs. Like, nothing else could even come close. So, Muck was definitely the key here. Other than that, I think it was a pretty well played set from my opponent. Obviously, not clicking Terra Electric game one was highly tragic, but I was able to come away with it. So, and yeah, all those misses sucked. Like I said, I think I probably win anyway, but all those misses were terrible. Just kind of like that had to sting. But anyway. Yeah, we're in playoffs. How about that? Yeah, I mean, I guess you'll still see videos from me until we're done in playoffs. And even after I'm out, I will continue to make a video here and there about SBL. I definitely want to kind of keep everyone informed about, who ends up winning. Actually, I have a great idea for how to present that. So anyway, I've kind of rambled on here. Thank you. And I'll see you at playoffs.